Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Brendan Plays. This is Total Extreme Wrestling for our All Elite Wrestling Save Week 2 here in October. And we, of course, have moved on from our Grand Slam event, and we are now building towards Full Gear. Quick little look at what's been going on. Obviously, lots of new storylines happening. Quite a number of new wrestlers have joined the company as well. You know, obviously Bryan Danielson, CM Punk, still relatively new. Bobby Fish is joining. Lio Rush, we've just signed him. And I'm sure there'll be a few more joining the ranks as well. And speaking of Bobby Fish, he'll be feuding with Powerhouse Will Hobbs. That's going to start very soon. We got Britt and Jade, Cody and MJF for the world title, Layla Hirsch, Hikaru Shida, Paul White, Lance Archer, CM Punk and Danielson teaming up again to fight the Elite. Ricky Starks, Colt Cabana, Serena and Ruby. Inner Circle, they're kind of feuding with each other. Sammy Guevara, Chris Jericho, the Hardys and Lucha Bros. We've got a four-way for the TNT Championship, the Varsity Blondes versus 2.0, and of course, a Women's Tag Team Championship tournament, which is going to kick off here on this episode. So, lots happening, and of course, we've got such a big roster. You know, it's really difficult to try and get everyone involved in the mix, and that's something that I'm trying to work on. You know, we're trying to have more storylines just kind of suited towards Dark and trying to really push storylines on that show, and having obviously major storylines on Dynamite and Rampage, trying to have every segment mean something and kind of be building towards something, trying to remove any sort of pointless stuff unless it's more on the pre-show or the lower shows such as Dark. So that's kind of where we're going at the moment. Now, I mentioned before we got Lio Rush into the company, so let's have a quick little look at Lio. Now, for me, I know in real life he's going to be wrestling. I don't really see him wrestling too much for us. I don't really see him doing a lot in the ring or having a lot of success. He's got 30 popularity, which is fine. So what I'm trying to kind of do with him is utilize his mic skills and kind of have him more as a manager. And I'm thinking of him creating and having his own stable. So the stable is going to be called the Portfolio. So obviously his gimmick is, he's a bit of an investor sort of thing. You know, that's kind of how they've approached him early on. I don't know if they're going to continue that in real life, but I'm going to. So I like that idea. Lio Rush, he's made a lot of money, wrestling. He wants to invest it. He wants to bring it. He doesn't want to get back in the ring. He wants to use his money wisely so he doesn't have to keep wrestling. And he wants to, save his own body and, kind of use his brain rather than, the brawn. So that's kind of where we're heading. So he's going to try and invest his money in some talent in AEW to try and reap the benefits. So that's kind of where I'm going with it. Now, some possible members for this group. Now, as I said, call the Portfolio. Who are some people that, could use a manager or could use someone to lift them up and kind of create a new group, a new faction? Now, straight off the bat, I thought of the Acclaimed. The Acclaimed, they haven't really been doing a lot. They've kind of been out of the mix, if anything. They just don't quite have the popularity to get them over. I think they're a good team. They definitely have a lot of potential. Got Anthony Bowens. He's a solid wrestler. And of course, Max Caster obviously has great mic skills, the rapping, and also able to cut a good promo outside the rap as well. So I think he's got a lot of potential and really could go that next level. But for whatever reason, they're stagnant. They just haven't been able to break through that ceiling. Maybe forming a group might give us a little bit more opportunity to utilize them in a different way, present them a little bit differently. And someone like Lio Rush, he's probably going to be looking for someone who, isn't valued that high but has a huge upside. He's willing to take a risk and invest in a team or a wrestler that's going to, obviously generate him money. So I think the Acclaimed would be a good fit for that. Now, obviously, as well as that, who else is kind of in that similar situation? Well, someone like Jade Cargill. We've been talking about giving her a manager for a while now. I wasn't a big fan of Mark Sterling doing the job, certainly considering his mic skills here in the game aren't that high. So I didn't really go for that, but Lio Rush could potentially be that for Jade. Now, Jade does technically have better mic skills than Lio and is more popular. So maybe not the best choice in the end. Maybe she doesn't need him, but obviously currently Jade is on her own. Lio investing and kind of, handling a lot of Jade's business. That could certainly work out for her as well. Now, not only that, you probably think, okay, could there be a top star that enters their group? Is there someone available that could certainly give this group a lot of, a bit of buzz, a bit of credibility? But you look up the top of the card, most people have some sort of faction or alliance or affiliation with someone. The only person we were kind of looking at is maybe a Christian Cage. Definitely doesn't need Lio Rush. Miro, similar situation. You probably wouldn't go for it. So there really isn't a major star that we can kind of put into this group. So that's why we have to kind of look a little bit further down the card. Is there someone down the card that we could utilize in that role? Do we look at maybe a Private Party as the tag team instead of the Acclaimed? That's a possibility. Private Party obviously haven't been really doing a lot. They are baby faces, so that probably wouldn't work either. Bobby Fish, obviously brand new in the company. He could use maybe a mouthpiece to kind of advance him. That's maybe not a bad idea. Not sure if that's a really good fit, but obviously if the point of the group is to have Lio Rush investing in someone with a lot of upside, then really you can have unlimited option. You can really go for anybody, someone who's got a bit of potential, a bit of upside. But what I would like to do with this group is I'd like to feature some women. I think that'd be a really solid thing if we can get maybe a new women's tag team involved in some sort of way, or maybe even a single star. That could really work. That way, that's why I'm maybe looking at Big Swole, Diamante, but again, baby faces. I'm going to probably have a heel group, and so for a heel tag team, I'm not really sure if there is a perfect solution for that. Again, so because we've already got Superbad, they're kind of on their own. Serena Deeb, she could maybe be utilized with a bit of a boost from Lio Rush. That may not be a bad idea. So we have a few options obviously available. We have to try and analyze what would be the best fit going forward. But that's kind of what we got cooking at the moment. A brand new stable coming in, Lio Rush. They called the Portfolio. I thought that would be a suitable name considering of what the premise of the group is. So all the members of Lio Rush's investments basically makes up his portfolio. So that's kind of what we have coming soon. We do have this week's edition of Dynamite already booked, where Lio Rush will make his debut. We haven't brought the Acclaimed in just yet. That's just a new idea that we're kind of going to run with. But we're certainly on the hunt for a few new members, and I'm happy for it to kind of be people that have no affiliation with each other kind of coming together and just having that loose affiliation due to Lio Rush being in his group. They don't necessarily need to align with each other even if they are in the same group, or you could go, okay, well, why don't we have all these odd matches and mixes and put them all together and kind of be under one umbrella. That could also be a different dynamic. Lots to think about anyways. So let's jump into it. We got this week's Dynamite, and let's take a look at the results. So Lee Moriarty on the pre-show taking on Anthony Ogogo. Of course, Anthony Ogogo picks up the win, 31 rated match. Lee actually outperformed Ogogo. He had a 30 rated performance, and Ogogo only 28. So that was Lee's debut here. He's got the Apex of Combat gimmick, rated as very good. Not bad from Lee. Anthony Ogogo still has a lot of work to do, so yeah, still not so great. But Lee Moriarty, obviously just signing in real life to AEW, we brought him in as well, so who knows how he'll go, but 30 rated performance is pretty good. Also on the pre-show, Fuego del Sol teamed up with Bear Country to take on 2.0. 2.0 grabbed a win, and surprisingly a 38 rated match. Jeff Parker 44, Matt Lee 37. So some good performances there on the 2.0 side to actually have a pretty decent match, quite honestly. Wheeler Yuta lost to Sean Spears as well, 41 rated. Sean Spears 42, Wheeler 32. Sean Spears, I think, has an 18-4 record now here in AEW this year, and still has ice-cold momentum. He still just can't go anywhere, so he's just an impossible project. I just can't do anything with him. Tony Nese, now in real life, he looks like he's going to join AEW. He's been, at the time of recording this, he's just been sitting in the crowd and kind of analyzing each match. I think he had some matches on Dark maybe. So I wanted to bring him in and give him a look. Let's see what he can do. Is he worth, signing? Is he worth investing in? Well, a 40 rated performance is not bad. I gave him Jungle Boy. I told these two, go out there and have the best match you can. And they did. 62 rated. It's pretty good. Mind you, most of it being Jungle Boy. But hey, 40 from Tony Nese isn't bad, but quite honestly, I have no idea. None. Zero. Of what I would do with Tony Nese. I have just nothing. I don't know. But, he could be coming to AEW, so we might have to sign him as well. Okay, we opened up the main show with Darby Allin and Malachi Black teaming up to take on the Good Brothers. Darby and Malachi picked up the win in a 66 rated match. Darby Allin pinning Carl Anderson. Did that to try and help boost Darby Allin's popularity. I have no care at all for the Good Brothers. I think they are very lousy. I can't stand them at the moment. So I'm trying to have Darby and Malachi be elevated. Darby Allin getting a big win here may do that. And look, the Good Brothers have a lot of popularity. They don't need as much as they've got, so we're happy for them to be sacrificed a little bit if it is for a team that is certainly going to be on the rise going forward, and that's exactly what they are. Post-match, Malachi Black and Darby Allin challenge the rest of the Elite. So Kenny Omega, he was out there, and he was gobsmacked. He wasn't very happy about it, but nonetheless, yeah, Darby and Malachi kind of being inserted into this CM Punk Bryan Danielson Elite situation just to try and include some of our other wrestlers and maybe try and help boost their popularity by having them involved and also adding a different element and evening the numbers here between the Elite and Punk and Danielson. So that's kind of where we're headed with that 89 rated. Lio Rush makes his debut and says he's looking to expand his portfolio with AEW talent. So his new gimmick of an eccentric investor rated as adequate, so just an average rating. Not too bad. So Lio Rush 43 rated for his debut promo is okay. As we said a moment ago, the portfolio will be coming. We just have to try and figure out who's the most appropriate people to put in the group. FTR defeated the Varsity Blondes in a 54 rated match. Best of the match, of course, Cash and Dax 73-72. And Brian Pillman was pretty good, 42. Griff Garrison, not so much, just 30. A solid win for FTR. Continuing on, Bobby Fish interrupted Will Hobbs and Mark Henry's promo. And Bobby Fish challenging Will Hobbs to a match. So Bobby Fish makes his debut here, an arrogant veteran, rated of great, so good start for his new gimmick. So obviously Will Hobbs is one of the talks of the town. You know, he's been hot, fresh, up and coming talent on the rise, proving himself week after week. Bobby Fish wants to try and, hey, this guy, everyone keeps talking about you. Well, let's not forget about me. I've been around for a lot longer than you have, and I know for a fact I'm a lot better than you ever will be. So Bobby Fish believes he's all that. Now it's a chance to prove that. 59. Sean Dean was beaten by Paul White in 3 minutes. 51 rated match. Squash match here to get Paul White on TV, give him a match, and give him a reason for the next segment to happen. As Lance Archer came out to the ring, got in the face of Paul White, and they stared each other down. And before referees and officials got in the way to make sure they didn't go to blows. So 70 for that segment. So Lance and Paul White, heading this one up to be one of our big attraction matches coming up soon. Looking forward to it. Paul White, he's got a lot of popularity to give, and I think Lance Archer beating Paul would be a great step for his career. Sting announced that the new bracket for the AEW Women's Tag Team Tournament, and all the competitors in the tournament discussed the result of the bracket. So 49 for that one. Yeah, we kind of utilize Sting a little bit here. Obviously, we're trying to make the tag team tournament feel like a bigger deal by having our GM, which of course is Sting, involved in this, and having all the wrestlers who are involved in this tag team tournament involved in this segment by having them, talking in this segment, reacting to what's going on to try and help maybe boost their popularity a little bit. A 49 rated segment, it'll help the tag team tournament storyline regardless. Speaking of tag team tournaments, wow, here's a hell of a match. We had a 56 rated match. That is right, 56. Now, we borrowed Allison Kay and cheerleader Melissa from the NWA, so that's our alliance. We didn't have enough teams to fill out this tournament, so we had to borrow and create a couple of makeshift tag teams for this tournament. Allison Kay, cheerleader Melissa showed excellent chemistry teaming together. Cheerleader Melissa, 59 rated. That's right, 59 rated. Are you kidding me? Allison Kay was really good too, 38, and the Inspiration 46 apiece. Of course, the Inspiration win, but I just can't believe it. 59 rated from cheerleader Melissa. I know she's good, but my God, that is unbelievable. 56 rated women's match. that may be the best women's match we've ever had in the series. It has to be. 56, it's got to be close. If not, I'm in shock. I am in absolute shock, quite honestly. So there you go. It's it's unbelievable. We had Melina. Now, we actually originally scheduled Melina to be the woman involved in the match. So it was going to be Allison Kay and Melina teaming up to take on the Inspiration. But then I found out that Melina had retired, so we put Melina in as a manager role for the night, and we brought in cheerleader Melissa. And thank God we did, because 59 from cheerleader Melissa, she's the reason why this match was awesome. So what a start to the tournament. What a huge start. And that is great. So that may help the Inspiration gain a bit of popularity too, which would be fantastic. The Hardy Boys, they talk about their legacy and how they want one last run at the top. So big promo from them, and obviously talking about, how the Lucha Bros are kind of in their way of achieving that goal. Jade Cargill talks about how dominant she has been since joining AEW, talking about her match with Britt Baker as well. So we're going to change Jade Cargill's gimmick soon. She's obviously got a bad gimmick, so we're looking to change that with a few more segments. MJF had a quick win over Austin Gunn, 7-minute win. MJF 84, Austin Gunn 27, and somehow they managed to have a 70 rated match. MJF with a huge carry there. Gave Austin Gunn a chance to get involved here. Obviously, he's involved in the Nightmare family, so there is that affiliation there, and a chance for Austin to kind of show us what he can do, which was not much, but nonetheless, he had a good match. Post-match, Cody Rhodes runs to the ring to stop MJF attacking Austin Gunn, but MJF escaped through the crowd. So Cody with a quick appearance there to try and make sure MJF doesn't get his hands involved in other members of the Nightmare family. So we're going to have probably more of that stuff coming up soon. More Nightmare family involvement to try and have Cody and his affiliation with the other lower tier members of the group getting themselves in the mix to try and boost up their popularity, while also building towards MJF and Cody one more time. Tony Schiavone interviewed Serena Deeb and Ruby Soho about their new rivalry. 49 rated, great segment here. Both women teeing off, trading verbal blows with one another, and that's a good promo in the end. And our main event, Adam Page and Park went one-on-one, 86 rated. My goodness, what is going on here? We are having a hell of a show right now. Adam Page, 82, Park, 80. So Adam Page and Park, obviously, involved with the TNT Championship situation. I don't know if we had the title on the line. We may have, but nonetheless, we had a double DQ when Miro and Christian Cage both came in, got themselves involved with the run-in, and both made sure this match was ruined, not going to happen, and it ended in a bit of a screwy finish. So unfortunately, we didn't get a winner, but we did get some build towards the next big match, which is Miro stopping Christian from attacking Park and Page, and Miro grabbing the TNT belt and posing with it. So Christian was continuing his attack on Park and Adam Page. Miro shut that down and had everybody was laid out. Miro grabs the belt and poses with it to close out the show. So what a massive main event in the end. 86 rated. That's one of our best matches we've had in a series here on Dynamite. And no surprise, Park and Page, that is, two amazing wrestlers out there. And we end up having a 79 rated show. So we only had one other really strong match, but which was the 70, which surprising with MJF and Austin Gunn. But I'm so happy with that women's tag team match. You just cannot believe we have been struggling for so long. And to be fair, we had to bring in outside talent to make it work, and we got pretty lucky. But nonetheless, I'm still ecstatic. Kira Hogan, we've also signed her, so we're going to bring her in to be part of this women's division. I think she'll come in as a heel. She's got 23 pop. She's currently working at Impact, so she could be someone that might just add a little bit of variety, I feel, into some of the mix. Because we've got a lot of the same women that we've been in the mix for a while, certainly on the heel side of things. We don't have a lot of singles wrestlers left on the heel side of things. So having Kira Hogan there does help fill that void a little bit, and we'll see how she goes. Alright, on to AEW Dark. Let's jump into it. And on the pre-show, Top Flight took on Reynolds and Silver for a 40 rated match. Pretty good. Dante 34, Darius 37, Silver 40, and Reynolds 34. I feel like in our game, Dante Martin, his stats probably don't reflect how good he is in real life. I think he's just tremendously amazing in real life. So maybe we could think about looking at bumping up his stats a little bit, seeing what his stats are at the current day and age, rather than when we had started this mod a couple of years ago. So that's something to look at. But nonetheless, good performance here from Top Flight and the Dark Order. Lee Moriarty took on Sean Spears for a 38 rated match. Spears 39, not too bad, and Lee 28. Spears picked up the win. Alright, now on the main show, Bobby Fish before his match demanded that Henry and Hobbs come out to watch it. So obviously we're starting a bit of a feud here with Bobby Fish and Will Hobbs. So Fish wanting to make sure that he's got an audience for this match tonight. And the match was against Joey Janela. So Bobby Fish picked up the win over Janela in a 47 rated match. Bobby Fish 48, Joey Janela 41. And Bobby Fish and Janela have no chemistry. But still, nonetheless, 48 from Fish with no chemistry. There's a bit there with Bobby Fish. There's something there. We could definitely utilize Fish in some sort of way. He could be a bit of a factor. So a good opportunity to see what Fish can do here, and not too bad. Britt Baker, 51 rated promo as she says she's the greatest women's champion ever, and Jade Cargill cannot and will not beat her. Good strong promo here to boost up the storyline heat here by Britt. Layla Hirsch challenged Hikaru Shida to a match when she had a backstage interview here with Dasha. 34 for that one, so pretty good. Good opportunity for Layla to show us what she can do on the mic, and honestly, not too bad. Double Trouble took on Superbad. This was a part of the Women's Tag Team Championship Tournament, and we had Superbad pick up the win. Double Trouble out of the tournament. Big Swole 32, Diamante best in the match 38, Penelope Ford 32, and Ali 36. Okay, not bad here. I mean, obviously the Women's Tag Team Tournament, we're going to have some matches that aren't so strong. We're trying to build a few new teams, Double Trouble being one of them, Superbad obviously the other. So a chance for both teams to kind of see, where they're at and who's the better out of the two. Very, very close. I mean, arguably, Double Trouble slightly ahead here with Diamante outperforming Ali, but clearly one really good performer, one weaker performer in both teams, but, honestly, both fairly average. So, okay, not something to think about going forward nonetheless. So the Varsity Blondes, they had a promo backstage. They promised to make 2.0 pay for their rude remarks about Julia Hart. It's 40 rated here. Seems like a lot of guys in the backstage locker room are coming after Julia Hart, and they're kind of, trying to flirt with her, trying to get with her. But the Varsity Blondes are kind of fending everyone off, trying to keep them away from Julia. We saw the Wingman, similar storyline here with 2.0 as well. So, it's almost a rehash a little bit, but we'll try and put a bit of a different swing on it. This time, 2.0 are going to be more of a threat in ring, I feel, rather than Varsity Blondes. Rather than the Wingman to the Varsity Blondes. The Varsity Blondes were able to beat the Wingman quite comfortably last time. This time, 2.0 will probably pick up some wins by cheating, and we'll kind of move away from Julia Hart and get it into the ring and focus on the two teams and how, maybe 2.0, they cheated their way to victory, something like that. Maybe we could have a stipulation line, if 2.0 win, they get to take Julia Hart on a date, something ridiculous, and we might actually make it happen. Ricky Starks, he mocks Colt Cabana and says that he's washed up, and it has been, and he's going to beat him pretty comfortably. So, yeah, Ricky Starks, he's got Brian Cage standing with him as well, just to kind of emphasize, this duo once again and get Brian Cage on TV, basically. 62 rated for this promo. Ricky Starks showcasing his skills here, really showing us that he's a star in the making. These are, 60 rated promos. It won't be long before this turns into 65 to 70, and all of a sudden this guy, upper mid-card material, definitely TNT champion material very soon. This is the way we'll get Ricky over with a lot more promo work. Lucha Bros took on The Factory in a 49 rated match. Not a great one, actually. Penta 65, Ray Phoenix 73. They did their part. The Factory were pretty poor. Obviously, they're bottom of the barrel when it comes to tag teams out there in our division. But Lucha Bros picked up the win, of course. But we wanted to give them a win. And, a chance to kind of showcase The Factory, get them a higher profile match, get them involved, see what they can do, which wasn't a lot. That is the final match of the show. Again, we wanted to have The Factory involved with the Lucha Bros here, just to basically put the Lucha Bros over and give them a reason to now move on and have some matches with the Hardys and kind of give them some momentum, things like that. Okay, now for Rampage. In the pre-show, we've got Del Miex, Ashley Vox. They're in a heated confrontation with TJ. So Team C-Stars and TJ getting into a verbal confrontation just before their match here tonight. Poor and very good for the gimmicks of the C-Stars. So 34 for that one. Pretty good, not too bad. Now, to open up the show, the Inner Circle, they say that they don't need Sammy Guevara in the group, and he is dead to them. Forget about it. They don't care about him anymore. They no longer need him. And to prove it, they're going to take on the Dark Order here in a 8-man tag team match. 56 rated for this one, pretty low to be fair. Jericho teaming up, and he carried the match. Only 79 though from Chris. Ortiz 66, Santana 68, Hager 62. But I guess everyone else kind of bringing the match down a little bit here. Silver's gimmick is getting a little bit stale, so we need to try and fix that up. The Inner Circle, of course, picked up the win. It wasn't a long match, only 8 minutes. Hard to have a good 8-minute 8-man tag team match, let's be real. So, not too bad, but more of a squash match in a way. Alright, the Super Elite, they laugh off the threats made by Malachi Black and Darby Allin. So, Malachi and Darby, they want to fight the Super Elite. They want to get involved in this. They are happy to try and get out there and, you know, see what they can do against the very best in the Elite. Well, they're not too worried, the Super Elite. No Adam Cole here, but Matt Jackson, Nick Jackson, probably going to be the two that step up here to fight them. They are not concerned at all. 88 rated for that one. TJ took on Team C-Stars. 42 rated match. Good, very good. Of course, our girls, TJ, had to pick up the win here. It's a one and done for Team C-Stars, so they won't be back. And to be fair, Team C-Stars did have some alcohol problems or something like that. It was one of the reasons why we didn't have this match sooner. So they are just, you know, not good news in any ways. But Ashley Vox, she was the best in the match. 44 rated, EXO 24. So, you know, you probably would consider getting Vox back. She was pretty good. Anna Jay, what a great progress, you know, she has been able to make over the last, you know, few months. 35 rated for her. And Tay Conti, 32. So that's pretty good. That's pretty good from Tay J, considering they're not a well-experienced team in terms of their, you know, career. But this is not bad from them. A 42 rated match and some good 30 rated performances. Tay J, I feel like they won't win the tournament, but geez, you know, they'd have to be the underdog favorites, I feel. I think, you know, if you took a step back and you kind of imagine this in real life, you probably would be rooting for Tay J to pick up a win here and go all the way and win the tournament. But I don't think it'll happen, but yeah, it would be a good story nonetheless. 42. The Hardys say that they need to beat the best to get a shot at the belts, and they are kind of making some subtle hints at looking to try and beat the Lucha Bros. 77. So we kind of really kick off this feud here between the Hardys and the Lucha Bros with a strong promo by the Hardys, which is great. 77 is a very strong, very solid promo here. Our main event was Cody Rhodes versus Cash Wheeler. 81 rated match. Look, I took a bit of a risk here. I wasn't sure how well this match would go down, but I'm pleasantly surprised. 81. Cody, with his best match he's had in a while. He's been a little bit down in his performances, I feel. You know, he's able to bring Cash Wheeler there with him. 81 rated performance, 81 rated match, overall. 83 from Cody, 72 from Cash is a really good result. MJF was in commentary, he was calling the action, but in the end, Shawn Spears, the plan was to have him interfere, cost Cody the match, and give the Pinnacle the win. Didn't work out that way, as Shawn Spears screwed it all up, and of course, that meant a fight broke out post-match. The Nightmare family, they were there to help Cody fend off the Pinnacle in a post-match brawl. So far, Cody and the Nightmare family have been getting the one-up on the Pinnacle. So something might have to change here from MJF. He might have to take a bit of a different approach if he's going to get the upper hand in the near future. 74 for that one. This time we didn't have this segment affect the storyline because I knew it wasn't going to be a strong one, because obviously we've got some lower card guys involved here. So I knew this wasn't going to be the strongest of segments, but still 74 is really, really good. And it's good to have some lower card guys involved in a really strong segment as well, especially the last segment of Rampage. it gives us a 70 rated show. So only having one really good match on the card kind of let us down. I thought the Inner Circle match might be around a high 60 to 70. So the fact that that only got 56 really kind of let us down a little bit. But nonetheless, 70 rated, still happy with that. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, though, we're going to end it here. We will be back with another episode very, very soon. Thanks for watching. Leave a like on it if you enjoyed it and subscribe to see more. And we'll be back with another one in the near future.